Hello, and welcome to the commentary for episode 2 of the Rivers of Blue series, Out of Touch. I am Zed Pratt. I am the writer, director, producer, schemer, spy, henchman. Uh, um, Out of Touch, I didn't mention this on episode 1, but Out of Touch was kind of a wink to both the audience of Rivers of Blue and the kind of themes of the show itself. Out of touch meaning, that RT was out of touch with what made the series great, and I wanted to also, just like the themes of the show and stuff like that. This character is played by my buddy Matt. He is Mateo Arts on YouTube, and he's been writing some books as of late. Very proud of him in terms of that. But it was one of these things where he just completely ad-libbed this driving section, and a lot of it stayed in the episode.
Is your dad home?
Um, Something that I'm really enjoying so far about working on this series is that we're kind of constantly going to new locations. Classic RVB. It was like, they'd film scenes, but it was always on Blood Gulch or kind of the same maps, but in like the same sections of the levels. And it's exciting going from place to place in the future and, just in this episode as well. This father character is played by another Matt, who is also another friend of mine. We have three Matts in this episode, which was both semi on purpose and semi not. I know two of them were going to be in it, but the first one I was speaking of a second ago was originally not going to play this character, and I just thought it was funny that I had three Matts playing these characters for this episode.
Are you being suspicious on purpose?
Huh?
You can't really notice this in terms of the mods, but Taylor is actually shorter than the regular male characters, and then the kid is shorter than Taylor. And then, for the example, the Warthog I had to make smaller, but not as big as the kid to make it feel like the kid was still small. So there's a lot of playing with scale in this episode, and from here on out in the series, that I feel like I don't film in such a way that's noticeable. But in the future, I'd like to kind of, show the audience that it's a thing. But you don't really see it in these shots, unfortunately. But hopefully, you feel it.
As long as I've known him. Is there anything else he requires?
Boneyard, in actuality, was very like gritty and kind of green, and I talked about this on the last commentary. But really, doing the color grading and getting some more warmth in there made it feel so much more alive, and doing the sound design for this lightning in the background was difficult. I had to get the timing right with the lines, and I didn't want like big flashes of lightning going over dialogue, and so there was a lot of fidgeting around with this episode. One thing I implemented in this episode that I implement more so in my own work, and something I didn't really do for episode 1, which was in my work, typically every shot is a new shot. I feel that creates, I don't know, it just makes the thing you're watching more dynamic, especially in this kind of animation machinima format. In episode 1, it was really like shot reverse shot, because that's how the guys at RT would, have done Rivers of Blue for many, many years. But with this episode, I kind of went back to doing my own way of doing things, and so there is some shot reverse shot stuff, but typically, most of the time, like a shot is pretty much new as it's coming on screen. Bernardo here is actually my first time doing masking in Premiere, actually. Premiere has definitely gotten better over the years, and I was able to accomplish this mask, and it was interesting. It was fun. It was something I didn't know I could do, but I think it looks pretty good. I don't think it needed a whole lot. I think it just needed some good color grading for the shots. I think it needed, the footage, you needed a 3D like effect to make it feel like it was really real in that environment. I'm actually really proud of myself. You know, I didn't think I was going to be able to pull this off. I originally imagined it as she's just talking to the screen, but there's no video. But I just thought, you know, having this robotic character and you would just see subtitles on the screen, I thought, is that going to be boring? So I'm really glad I went this route. I think it made the scene a whole lot better.
Sorry about that. Did you say something?
This scene came out a lot kind of more sad than I meant it to be, but I kind of tightened it up, saying kind of a lot in this one. Sorry, I tightened up the dialogue a bit to get to make it funnier, and I think it helped a little bit. This was the big gag of the episode right here. I just when I was thinking about the episode, I just knew that this was going to be the main gag, is our kind of feminine, just Bluetooth wearing asshole character driving this big Hummer thing. I just, you know, just with the tank without the turn on, I just think it looks so fucking funny. And this character played by me, basically my attempt at this like slick asshole kind of Saul Goodman feminine character. And then my roommate said that this character, that it was like pretty much me, which I was offended by because I didn't like the idea that I was that feminine. So that pissed me off. So I don't know what that means. Maybe that's I don't know, something I need to work on. I don't know. I always viewed femininity as a hard word to say. Sorry. I don't know. I always viewed feminine-like qualities as having more power than masculine qualities, and I don't know. I like the strength in it. Oh my god, that was another thing, was that joke, just him getting in. I knew I needed like that 90s Honda like clack of that lock button. That was so important to me, and I found that horn, and I'm like, oh my god, this is perfect. It's not too funny, but it's not super serious. It was just the perfect horn. We missed the other Matt. Sorry, that's the Matt is up there on his sniper position. The Blarg stuff is so funny. I was concerned that it wasn't gonna work a little bit, but I just knew as soon as I started editing it, I was like, yeah, this is gonna work. Blargity Blarg here is played by an actor who is going to be in Vespertine. Hopefully you guys will see that soon by me. And he's a wonderful actor. And I'm just really excited for him to continue. I'm just excited to continue to work with him. And he just nailed his character. I couldn't have done it without him. That person on the other end is a sound effect, but I can't remember if I sped it up or I slowed it down, but I just knew, like, I needed it to be very cartoony, like something you hear out of Tom and Jerry, or like the parents in God, what is it? Like, I think it's called Peanuts, right? Is that it? Or no, like Charlie Brown, like that whole thing. I just knew it needed that kind of sound, you know. Building this interior of our starfighter was definitely, you know, a long couple hours forging it, and it's pretty fair on specifications. It's slightly bigger, but I filmed the starfighter in such a way that I feel that it's pretty believable that that could be the interior of it. And I know that the way the spaceship is designed, it's not quite makes sense based off of where the thrusters are, but that's why I have those kind of side areas to kind of indicate, like, okay, that's where the thrusters are. So I kind of play with scale and positioning a bit, but I think it works just fine.
You too.
And that line, I just thought that line was so funny, and I was scared that it wasn't going to work, but I think I got the pacing just right on that. Flying out here into space was helped by Lawson, who helps a lot at Innovative Monitor as well. I'm really appreciative of that we were able to get those shots. Back at the station, back at the space station. It was kind of weird, like, having all these characters and introducing all these new characters when I had a pilot introducing all these new characters. And this episode is really kind of setting up the plot, even if the first one was kind of setting up the plot. But I don't know. They set up I set up the plot in different ways in each episode, and I think
My
if I were to rewrite it or do something different, or the episodes would have been longer, I probably would have put episode 1 and 2 together in some kind of way to make it just a full pilot.
It's important.
And I'll come find you later.
Getting the sound design right was easier. I kind of just laid it on and it just worked, and I was really happy about that.
Just give me a second.
And boom, we've introduced the conflict. What is going to happen next? Who knows? Another kid character, and I think here the scale is definitely noticeable for each character. And boom, cut to black. That's the end of the episode. Thank you everyone so much for the support and watching the show. Please share it around to all Red vs. Blue fans, and just, share around as much as you can. We appreciate the support. And yeah, that's it for me. Thank you so much for watching, and I really appreciate your time. Take it easy.